North Korean nuclear attack would end Kim Jong-un regime, Seoul warns.
Here's a summary of the article.
Seoul on Friday warned North Korea that using its nuclear weapons would spell the swift end of Kim Jong-un's regime after Pyongyang said U.S. military deployments could justify a nuclear strike, further escalating tensions on the peninsula as the North ramps up weapons testing and South Korea bolsters its ties with Washington. Any nuclear attack against the alliance between Seoul and Washington would provoke an immediate, overwhelming and decisive response, South Korea's defense ministry said in a statement, according to news reports. Both Seoul and Washington have made clear the dire consequences of a nuclear strike against them before, the statement said, adding that a response of that kind would spell the end of the North Korean regime. North Korea's nuclear doctrine changed significantly last year when Pyongyang adopted sweeping legal changes governing its use of nuclear weapons. Many of the changes which enshrined the right to use preemptive nuclear strikes were vague and would seemingly give Pyongyang the right to use nuclear force against conventional attacks or if its leaders feel threatened. Seoul criticized the policy in its statement on Friday, particularly the inclusion of illegal preemptive strikes, and said Pyongyang has been undertaking repeated preemptive strike drills and making nuclear threats against itself and its U.S. allies. The two allies also held the first nuclear consultative group in Seoul on Tuesday, designed to improve their joint response to a nuclear attack from the north and discuss how to strengthen nuclear deterrence.
This post received a score of 5,200, with an upvote ratio of 97%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
I know this is a serious topic, but seeing the progression of these threats over the week for what feels like the millionth time is so funny because it's just so predictable now. Step 1, US and/or South Korea perform a military exercise and/or publicly ridicule NK. Step 2, NK threatens the West with nuclear weapons. Step 3, US and/or South Korea makes a threat at NK in return. Step 4, repeat. We're currently on Step 3, it'll probably be just a few weeks before we get to Step 4.
You forgot Step 5. Dennis Rodman.
Bring Kimmy to Cassidy's in Newport Beach. Rodman's local watering hole, end of the regime, boom.
Drive on the wrong side of the road to get there in true Rodman fashion.
Based on recent pictures of Kim, a well-placed bucket of fried chicken could also end North Korea's regime.
The clear state of his weight likely being thanks to his unfettered access to copious amounts of food is one of the biggest visible slaps in the face to the people of Korea. Among other very serious examples of that, his being a fat dictator annoys me to no end. Editing this to say that I'm not Korean and can't speak for any of the folks living in Korea. Especially when it comes to something like what UN's worst offense is toward his people. I can say that his weight, among other things about him, has always pissed me off considering how many people there are starving because of him.
Those poor souls have been tortured and abused for generations now. I don't know they would have the language or cognitive ability to understand they are being taken advantage of by a fat fuck, like why should get another cake while we fight mice for food? That kind of analytics they would be quick to stomp out, leaving those who never harbor such thoughts left.
That seems to be the case based on what I've learned. Sad face. I sincerely hope something eventually changes there so that future generations have a chance at an authentic life they can live fully.
A steep hill would flummox this butterball.
This bastard also apparently claimed to climb a mountain. I heard LMAO.
Bro doesn't look like he could climb the palace steps.
He didn't. By the way, it was proven that he drove up the mountain and faked it. I don't think the word regime is needed in that sentence.
North Korea exists at the mercy of the rest of the world. Nobody is scared of their rinky-dink 70s retro army.
NK does have Seoul within long artillery range. So that's actually pretty bad. Everyone with nukes has nukes pointed to North Korea. And we'd only need to take out one city.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.